Imagine this. You get thrown on a deserted island and you have only 3 items that you hold onto. What do you have with you? Welcome! My name is Daniel, and some time ago I was having this playful conversation with a certain girl, and I asked her the same question you've heard in the intro of this video. And in the meantime I thought, okay, how would I answer this question? And I thought, okay, 3 items that I hold on to, deserted island, no signal. I would probably have a pen, a notebook, and obviously some reliable knife. Why a notebook though? Because I truly believe that a notebook and a pen is all you need to solve most of your problems. At least to help solve those problems. But to know more, stay on, because you will learn how to boost your life by journaling, following the 3 main types of journaling that I see in this technique. Without further ado, let's get right into it. The first type of journaling is processing emotions. Now, the core idea is to write about the event that has invoked some emotions in you, and to describe what has happened. How did you feel? What did you see back then? It can work on events that go way into the past, or into the events that have happened the exact same day you are writing this. Because writing can offload some of your emotional weight. Why? Because it helps you make your emotions physical and not spiraling in size, in shape. It makes them more tangible and easier to work with. For example, imagine this. You walk through your home and suddenly your sibling calls you a duck with curved legs. And you're so angry at them that you just want to do something immediately. But you hold yourself and say, okay, let's try something else. And you go down to the basement. You chain yourself to the walls and you take out your notebook, your journal, and write, "Dear diary, they are so annoying, I just want to stuff them with chicken and make them poop." Ugh! And suddenly, the whole situation just gets lighter. And you see, you know what? I may have overreacted. So, journaling to process your emotions, that is, writing about the events that have caused you to feel certain emotions, allows you to get hold of them, literally. Second type of journaling. Journaling to process problems. Now, it's all about asking probing questions to get into the core of the problem. Because our aim here is to aid in your problem solving. And you do that by asking questions, because questions direct your focus. For example, one sunny day, I sit on my desk and think, alright, I'm going to create my first app. So, I look at my blank screen and think, okay, I know how to create an app, but what do I create? So instead of writing on my computer the code, I take out my notebook, think book as I call it, and ask questions such as, alright, why do I want to create this app? What vision do I have for that? What am I going to use it personally? What do I think is one core feature that others will benefit from having it? What do I need for an MVP version of the app? And question by questions, I get to the core of my app and decide to work on it. And sometime into the future, my app is ready for its first release in a beta version, and it's working exactly how I've written in my notebook, in my think book. So, learn to ask good questions that will lead you to the juicy stuff. Now, with the third type of journaling, here's where it gets really interesting. Because now we're journaling to process our life. Sounds deep, I know. And again, we do it by asking questions. Why? Our aim here is to avoid regrets about our life and, in general, the feelings of hate towards it. And by asking questions, we actually try to uncover what really matters in our lives and what's important to us. And by writing it down, we get to slow down and actually sit with this one, which is really important. Now, there was this one time where I'm taking a stroll through the city. A bright sunny day, so I should have a good mood. But somehow, I just walk with my head down, with a sleazy walk, and think to myself, why is my life such a mess? What do I do wrong? So, because I had my journal, I go to the mall. I sit down, take out a pen, and write some probing questions about my life, because it's similar to processing our problems, but here we want to ask not probing questions to uncover the core of the problem. We want to ask reflective questions to uncover what really matters. And at the end of my session, I was able to write out the things I really wanted to work on, the routines I would like to follow to take care of my health. And here's a surprise, because somewhere along the way, I've written that writing, creative writing, is as important to me as my work and side projects. And it blew my mind, because it's just a hobby. I do it for fun, to work on myself, just to have some pleasure, additional pleasure in life. But somehow, it was as important as the top things in my life outside of family and friends. And thanks to that, I was able to create a routine that not only made me progress in a lot of things, but also have more enjoyment in life out of going after the things that really matter to me. So, I advise you to process your life on a regular basis and ask probing questions about it. Ideally, you would want to do it once per 2 months, but at minimum you can do it once a year. Now, as for the questions, for the prompts, you can use your own ones. I advise to do that, but I know that it's scary to look at a blank page and think, what do I write anyway? So, here are some of the questions I liked, and you might too. I'll actually read it from my notebook. If, for the next 12 months, I could only pick one thing X or thing Y, what am I actually scared the most to lose? And what do I desire to gain the most? In my example, it was financial stability versus investing myself to get deeper into IT. Second, what's the 20% of my life that's causing me 80% of my problems? Third prompt. Where in my life am I pretending to be okay, even though I'm not? If I had all the time and all the money in the world, what would I do? And the last one, how can I do my 5-year plan in 5 months? Imagine this. You go out with someone who's important to you, who's close to you, and they ask you, hey, could you help me? You seem like someone who has their life in order. How do you do that? And then you take out your journal that you have all the time on yourself and tell them, listen well, here's what you will do. Hey, thanks for staying to the end, and if you're interested in such topics, here's a video on a writing technique that can actually fix your life. So, if you will be interested and ready to dive in, it is there for you.